There's a huge mistake that I see a lot of people making, especially when it comes to the work that they do in the world. You could be a healer, a coach, a business person, whatever it is. Most people end up making this mistake, and it works for them at first. Because at first, like I was back in the day, and maybe still a little bit, I'm always doing this work on myself. That when we do this work, or like let's say we learn a skill, or for example, I'm a chiropractor. I went to chiropractic school to help people in that way. I had some businesses that did really well, and then until they didn't. The mistake that we make that will end up sabotaging us in the end, but it serves us in the beginning, is taking responsibility for all of that good work and all of that good stuff that you're doing out in the world and all of the amazing things that people are always congratulating you for and saying, wow, look at him, look at her, great job. And it's taking responsibility for that. And you're probably like, whoa, I thought I'm supposed to take responsibility for everything that I do. It's unconstitutional to not take responsibility for everything that I'm doing. Radical self-responsibility is what all of these other gurus and people are throwing at you. And it sounds really great, because it gives you power over your life. And a lot of people lack that feeling of power in their life. And when they do something that they feel good about, it empowers them. But that's really just the first level. And if you stay at that level, it will keep you severely limited. So what's the answer? What do we actually do? And this is something that I found from doing work as a healer, helping people with their health and healing their bodies. And when I first started doing this work, I would get great results with a lot of people. And I was like building up my own ego, saying how great I am at this and how many people I can help. But then I went on my own personal journey to figure out who I am and work on myself. And on one of those journeys, one of those things that I did was I went to Costa Rica, stayed at this nice resort, and did ayahuasca. And a lot of people do ayahuasca. It's super popular. Everybody's doing it. Don't jump on the bandwagon. But one of the things that I experienced during that was a painful vomiting, diarrheaing, purging of all of this responsibility for everything that I was doing, that I was taking in on me. And that responsibility was helping people heal. And I was taking it on me. And I was taking in all that stuff and holding it in. And I did not realize this until I had this purge that I thought I was going to die and they were going to, they were going to have to ship my body back from Costa Rica to the United States. And my parents were going to wonder what happened to me and how stupid I was for doing this. But during that journey, I realized this, like I'm doing all this stuff and it's actually potentially making me sick. And it doesn't matter if you're a healer, like if you're working directly with people, or if you're a coach, or even like a business person, someone running a business where you're managing a bunch of people, you're creating products, you're putting them out in the world. It's cool to say that you did that stuff. Great. But there's a level to it. And the way that you actually avoid this is by not taking responsibility for that stuff. And a lot of people already do this. They don't want to take responsibility for all of the negative things that happen. When they're working with someone or they make a product or they do something and it doesn't work out and they're like, oh, well, on to the next thing. They don't hold on to it, right? They kind of give it up to God. They send it out in the universe. That wasn't for me. Spiritual gaslight themselves. and to not take responsibility for that. And that's cool. But you also need to not take responsibility for all the other things, all the good things that are happening in your life. And that's a really tough thing to do because we all have this thing called the ego. And the ego loves to take responsibility. And it loves to also get butthurt from people when there's negative things that happen too, or they say negative things about you. And by doing this, you are not losing your power. You are not losing power at all. You are actually gaining power in this way. And let me explain. When you do this, you're accessing a higher power. You're allowing something to work through you. And you're allowing something more powerful than you to use its energy, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, to work through you. And then that energy is more powerful than anything. And you also don't get to take responsibility for that, right? Because you're not doing it. But that's okay. You get to be the hands of God. I'm going to read something to you, and this might turn some people off because it's a Bible verse, but I think it kind of demonstrates and explains what I'm actually talking about here, because when you read this scripture, if you actually read it and you go beyond what I'm about to read to you, it goes into what happens when you take the responsibility and you never give it up to God. So this is Matthew 25:35-36. For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you took me in. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me. So, what is this even saying? When you give yourself to God, when you become a vessel for this higher power, for this energy, all of these things will be provided for you. You will never have to want, you'll never have to worry. All you need is faith. The right things at the right time will show up, especially when you're ready and you become the vessel, when you become the person that's able to receive them. And there's a key in that, when you have to become the person that's able to receive them. If you are not able to receive them, then you will have to level up and you will have to do the work on yourself to become able to receive them. Otherwise, it's like literally putting the electricity from the power lines on the street directly into a light bulb. Now, when you get electricity from the street, there's like a step down process that happens. So all of that electricity doesn't just blow the light bulb out. The same thing happens in our body, in ourself. If your vessel isn't able to receive that energy, there will be a step down process that happens. So that way you can receive some of it. So you can level up to the next level until you're able to receive it directly, which is the most powerful frequency. But most people are not ready for this. And what we do is we go and we do all this energy work and things like that. We go to a shaman. But really, all you really have to do, there's only two things you're actually responsible for in this. It's not doing the things. You're going to be the hands, you're going to do it, you're going to receive. But you're not taking responsibility for the work, okay? It's only two things that you need to do. The first thing is creating the vision. You have to create the vision, right? You have to receive the vision of what you're trying to manifest, what you're wanting to create. And once you receive that vision, you also, you have two options in that. You can take personal responsibility and be like, man, I'm so smart. I thought of that. Or I worked so hard. That's so cool of me. Or that vision, which was where it really came from, you just plucked it out of the universe. You just became a receiver, was give it up to God. That vision, give it up to God. You don't have to do the thing to create it. You are not that powerful to go and create it. That's what these manifestation teachers who saying create your own reality and all this kind of new age language are saying is like, you're the creator. Well, I'm sorry, but you're actually not. God is the only creator. Universe is the only creator. It's a much more powerful creator than you. So if you want to access the most powerful creator, the most powerful creative energy that literally made your, like, you can't make a physical body. You can have a baby, but you're not making the baby. The baby gets made with this energy. You have nothing to do with it. You just plant the seed. See? The vision. You plant the seed. And then you give it up to God. You give it up to the energy to create it for you. And now you're going to have to go in the world like it's already happening, and you're going to have to do some things. But it's not the same as saying, I did this. I created this. That's very limiting. And eventually you hit a wall. And the second thing that you are only responsible for, first responsibility is creating that vision. The second thing is creating the capacity to receive in your vessel. So your physical body is the vessel. And a lot of people don't really have the capacity to fully receive this energy, right? Because they have some physical blockages or some health issues or movement patterns, or the fascia stuck, or all of these, there's all these things that limit your capacity. And that's also why a lot of people, I mean, especially I live here in Sedona, and I see there's a lot of healers, right? And a lot of them end up with health problems because they never leveled up their capacity to work with this energy, to work with this frequency. And their physical bodies literally can't take it. And they get health issues, and they have no idea why. Well, that's why. I'm telling you why. So you have to level up your physical capacity, which will level up your energetic capacity, which will level up your frequency, so that way you can receive this energy, and you can work with this energy much more effortlessly, if that's a word. And it all has to do with your vessel, the body. Upgrade the vessel. I see this time and time again. Like I had a woman in here. She comes and sees me every 3 weeks. And I saw her about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And she was having a hard time selling her house. Like things weren't working out, deals falling through and all this stuff. And I was like, if you keep doing this work, and it was just simple chiropractic work. And I'm not saying every chiropractor is the same. And I don't even think you need to do chiropractic work. There are other ways to do this, and I can teach you those ways if you would like. Just when I have my newsletter, which will be dropping very soon, subscribe to my channel. So on the next videos, you'll see the ability to join. And I will help you from my knowledge and my experience how to do this work on yourself. Well, I said, next time you come in, it's gonna be all taken care of. Came in today, comes in, she's coming to me for like back pain, but I know how much more powerful this, I know what's really going on. It's not back pain, that's a block. That's a capacity issue. Open up her capacity, sold house, new house, deals pending right now. Everything's flowing. All because she upgraded her physical capacity. Had another patient that I just saw who's doing a lot of energy work. She's taking a class on some, I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's like Reiki or something like that. And she's always very, like, her body doesn't move that well. Well, today she's doing all this energy work, clearing a lot of energetic stuff, and everything moved. The physical body was the last piece for that blockage, that clearing to happen. So it was the energy, for her, it was the energy first and then the physical. And then the physical just opened up. Now her energy and all that stuff is opened up. And I can guarantee next time she comes in, she's going to tell me something like fantastic happened. So, two things. You're not responsible for any of that work. Okay? This is going to free you. This is going to give you freedom. This is going to help you manifest things with much less effort in the world. Only two things you're responsible for: planting the seeds, watering those seeds, planting and watering, and creating capacity in your physical vessel. That means upgrading your health, your movement, reversing your aging, all the things that everybody's out there is like trying to do, but for much different reasons. This is not even a personal reason. This is so you can receive your mission here. You can receive the thing that you're supposed to be doing in this world. So that's it. Very simple, but very not always easy to do. So I hope this video, if you're a healer, a coach, an entrepreneur, someone who feels a little stuck in their life, if this resonated with you, drop me a comment. Let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram. I'd love to chat with you and see if I can help you in any way. Thank you for getting this far in the video. I will see you on the next one.